Hello everyone, this is Neha Sharma once again with you. And dear kids, as you know, we are reading poem Childhood, which is written by Marcus Netton. So we discussed in the previous video that the theme of this poem is childhood, hypocrisy and egotism. So dear kids, in the first stanza of this poem, we discussed that the poet wonders when did his childhood go away from him. He wonders whether it went away when he crossed the age of 11 or when he realized that the hell and heaven are imaginary and are not found in geography, which he heard in the bedtime stories. Moreover, these are the components of, he realizes that this hell and heaven, these are the components of bedtime stories, right? And he realizes that this was only his imagination and are not found in geography book itself, right? So then he starts thinking perhaps the day when he gained his rational and logical thinking, he lost his childhood. Now here in this stanza, the poet has two different things which would have led to the loss of his childhood. And the first thing is what? The growing up. And the second thing is his rationality. So the poet neither likes to grow up or rational thinking. And he seems to be a lover of imagination, where he imagined hell and heaven. And he desired to have the same beliefs which he had during his childhood. Now we have to study today the second stanza of the poem. So please open your book on page number 58 of Hornbill, and let's see the stanza number 2 onwards. So dear students, on your screen you can see stanza number 2 of the poem Childhood, which was written by Marcus Netton. And that says, when did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? So here in the second stanza, the poet again raises a rhetorical question. What this rhetorical means, which is like when did my childhood go, right? He is asking the question from himself. So this is a rhetorical question. He wonders whether he lost his childhood when he realized that adults, right? In second line, he realized that adults were not. So adults are not what they seem to be. Like they behave very politely, they show that they love or they they talk and preach about love, but their actions do not seem to be out of love. They are hypocrites and have hate in their actions. Means they show something different and they behave something in different way. So here the poet thinks whether that was the day when he lost his childhood, right? When he realized the hypocrisy of the adults. Okay. So that time he is thinking that maybe that was the time when he lost his childhood. So dear students, let's understand this hypocrisy which has been described in this second stanza. Right. So here actually the poet specifically focused on adults' hypocritic behavior with their children. When a child gets matured, parents start to treat him differently. They say a lot of things about love, but in reality they react otherwise. So we have learnt that in the second stanza, the poet has described or he foregrounds the attitude of mature ones towards a child who has just become an adult. He had suddenly a realization that the adults around him were not behaving as they did before. When he was a little child, they pampered him. He got all the things when he wanted. The most important thing here is what? Love and care. And the poet says that with the time their love Whose love? Like parents or adults, like, so their love had also changed. They thought it was inappropriate to treat him as a child, but they could not understand the poet had just stepped into maturity, and it was a long way to be like his parents. It was just the beginning, and he still needed their assistance and foremost their love. And adults, they cannot understand the mental happening of the kid, because there is a lot of change in in himself or herself, and they are not they are not machines. There is no switch in a human heart which can turn on the mode of adulthood in the child, and it is a process, and processing of human minds needs time. For them, it is a critical time. A lot of things start to enter into their lives and puzzle them daily, but they need it only, that is only, what is that? That is love only, to welcome the mental transformation with a patient heart. So this was there in the second stanza. So dear students, we will see the poetic devices which are used in the second stanza. So let's see this. So very first we will discuss the rhyming scheme of stanza number 2. So let's see, when did my childhood go? There is what? Go, right? So go is the last word here, and then second is what? Not. Second. When we talk about the poetic devices of the stanza number 2, so let's have first rhyming scheme. First word here is go in the first line, last word. Then it is not, then it is be, love, lovingly, and day. So you have noticed when we talk about this be and lovingly, we get the same sound, right? So rest all the words are different. So this we will give A, this B, this C, this also C because same sound, but this here love, that is what? D, and the last one is E. So in a way the rhyming scheme of the stanza is A, B, C, D, C, E. Clear? So that is what? The first thing here which we have to discuss. Now we talk about the second poetic device used here. So let's come to line number 2nd and 3rd. Now line number 2 and line number 3. See, was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seem to be? So here there is a continuation in line 2nd and 3rd, right? Without using after the second line there is no punctuation mark, and third line is getting attached with this. There is a sense of the sense of the second line is getting completed in third line. So what is this? This is called enjambment. What is this? Enjambment. Clear? So was it the time when I realized adults were not? Now the meaning is not clear. Now we have to go to the next line to get the meaning of this. So this is what? Enjambment. Right? Now we will talk about the very important one which I discussed earlier. When did my childhood go? This rhetorical question is being repeated in stanza number 1, 2 and 3. So this is what? This is refrain. What is it? This is refrain, and the last line also, was that the day? This is also what? This is a repetition of the same line after the particular interval. Means in the first stanza, first line is when did my childhood go, and the last line was what? That the day. Here also in the second stanza, first line is same, when did my childhood go, and the last line is also same, was that the day. So this is what? This is refrain. Clear? So this much we have to learn in this second stanza. Now in the next video we will meet with third and fourth stanza of this poem. Till then, please write down the meaning of this stanza number 2 in your notebook, means the explanation in your notebook, right? And the poetic devices and the new words which you got to know in this stanza number 2. Thank you very much for today. We'll meet in next video with stanza number 3 and 4.